dead before they're cool. The blooming flesh or meat hole. Cadaver eye.
Hi, and welcome to Front Row Review. We are reviewing The Walking Dead season premiere tonight, and I am David Graves.
I am Vince Maniaci.
I am Max Murphy.
I am Drew Valentine.
I don't think I've ever had that many people on the show before. It's crazy.
Yeah, this is nuts.
It's a new world record.
Okay, so season premiere, The Walking Dead. Go, Drew.
It's awesome. All right, review's done.
I got more to say, though.
You're shouting.
I'm shouting so Drew can hear me over the video through the webcam over to his cell phone to his speakers.
That's because we are super professionals.
Okay, so Walking Dead Season 2, 90-minute premiere. What'd you think of it?
I don't know what he's saying, but I think it's what we thought of the show, which is why we're here in the first place. And pretty damn sweet, even though coming from a guy who's read the books and everything, it's still kind of on the flip side of just, I want this to just go more towards this way, and it keeps on wanting to be its own thing. And I'm kind of conflicted how that's all ending up right now.
What I gathered here from the season premiere, because you and I are the only people who's read the comic.
I haven't read the comics.
No, I've never read the comic either.
So Drew and myself are the only people who's ever read them. And I can see what Drew's going for here. It seemed like this season premiere was a 90-minute setup to the beginning of hopefully the comic, because all of this that happened here wasn't in the comic until the very end.
Right now they're at a perfect opportunity to start following the comic or books again, and right when it seemed like it was starting to line up in that situation the way I thought it was going to at the end of the show of this episode, it kind of didn't take that turn the way I was thinking it was going to, but I think that was their intention anyway.
Well, coming from the point of view that, you know, I hadn't read the comics, I actually liked this opening for this season. You know, compared to last season. Last season had a fantastic opening show. This one was just as good. I enjoyed it. I can't wait to see where it's going to go from here. And I was not expecting what happened at the end.
I gotta tell you, Max, that I really enjoyed the fact that they didn't go light on this at all. It still is disgusting and as gross as they can make it.
I like the part where the guy cut his arm when they're stuck in the traffic jam kind of sort of deal, and there's just blood gushing everywhere, and I was like, that guy's gonna get eaten.
Oh, I remember that.
Nom nom nom.
My God, he's like juicing.
Yeah, they must have hit that artery or whatever it is.
That was an extremely cool effect, and I really, like you said, Dave, I'm really glad that once again this season they're not skimping on the blood and the guts and the gore and stuff. And it's just, I don't know, I was really happy with, really happy with this season 2 opener.
And I also got to point out here that the zombies in the show look phenomenal. They're awesome looking. They're like, you know, like the one that got into the RV for a couple seconds. Just awesome makeup effects that are going on here.
Yes, it was. It was very awesome. I love that.
What'd you think of the makeup effects, Drew?
Makeup effects.
Makeup.
Is Drew still there?
The makeup effects. And they've done a pretty good job on that. And the only thing I was thinking of is when I watched I had the whole horde shamble past them, and it seemed like just so many, I was just wondering kind of to myself how many of them were actually fully make-upped, and how many people they just had like tattered pants on to make it look like there were so many zombies when it could have just been, a couple of actors that were just wearing tattered up pants going in like, yeah, I'm a zombie, totally a zombie, don't mind me.
You guys haven't read the comic, so you're still enjoying the show, but for those who had read the comic, I'm like, come on, I mean, there's so much great material here, and they're not using it. Why keep making up stuff that isn't in there? I mean, come on, just give us the awesomeness that was The Walking Dead. I mean, even though the show was really good, they're just teasing the people who read the comic, and we're like, come on, just do it already.
They've mentioned in articles and in interviews before that they wanted it to be somewhat different from the books so they can keep the people who are devoted followers to the book even on their toes, so they couldn't know, like, oh, I know what's going to happen here, and then they kind of switch it up a bit so you don't know what's going to happen.
Well, I think it's interesting from the two guys who read the comic, our opinions are pretty much the same, and from the two people who hadn't read the comic, your opinions are the same. You like the show a lot because you don't know where it's going, but both Drew and I had read the comics, and we know where it's going, so we have four completely separate ideas what's happening here.
If I hadn't have read the books and came into watching it with fresh eyes, I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed the new season opening and everything. And it's definitely a nice way to start everything off. Not as good as the first season's start off, but they're doing a pretty good job of leaving everything like, oh, what's going to happen now? Boom, 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 boom. But yeah, it was good.
On our horror Norman scale for the season premiere of The Walking Dead, I would give it a 4 out of 5.
And I would give it a 5 out of 5.
I would give it the Golden Machete.
Let's see. I would give the season 2 beginning of Walking Dead 3 Normans out of 5.
Wow. It wasn't that bad.
Last season's is a 5 out of 5 for sure. But this season, it didn't give you that emotional pull. It didn't give you this buildup of anticipation. Sure there was these things that were happening, but I didn't feel nearly as connected into this world as I felt with last year's beginning episode.
All right, so we're going to come back mid-season and give our review for mid-season, and then we're going to do the end of the season and wrap it all up. So stay tuned for that. We'll be back with our opinions about the middle of the season, and then when it's over, we'll wrap the whole thing up and tell you what we thought of the whole season.
Is someone getting attacked by a raccoon? I'm hearing a lot of scribbling around, so I'm assuming someone's getting attacked by a wild animal. Is that what's going on?